Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Patriots Hub. And buckle up because things are getting spicy in the NFL world right now. We've got drama, contract negotiations, rising stars, and some serious movement on the defensive side of the ball. Let's dive right into it. And we're starting in Washington, where one of the league's top wideouts is finally breaking the silence on what's really going on behind the scenes. Terry McLaurin has officially spoken out, and what he had to say? Not exactly music to the ears of Commanders fans. After months of speculation and behind closed doors conversations, McLaurin finally went public, opening up about his current situation with the team. And folks, let's just say he's not thrilled. His words were direct and pretty raw. Frustrated and disappointing. That's not exactly what you want to hear from your number one receiver heading into camp. And while he hasn't gone full-on trade demand mode or announced a holdout, make no mistake, he's sending a very clear message to the front office. Get this deal done. McLaurin made it clear that he's not trying to force his way out. Yet, he says he still wants to be in Washington, that he believes in what they're building, and that he's committed to the team. But he also emphasized that the lack of progress on a new contract has left him disheartened. Remember, we're talking about a guy approaching 30, one of the most productive and reliable wide receivers in the league. He's earned his spot, he's shown his loyalty, and now he wants the bag. And honestly, who can blame him? There haven't been serious discussions since minicamp, and that silence is starting to speak volumes. It's pretty telling that he's chosen to go public. Players don't do that unless they're trying to shake the tree. Now, Patriots fans might be wondering, is this someone we should be watching? Absolutely. New England has been sniffing around for weapons. And if McLaurin does hit the market, you better believe they be in the mix. But for now, McLaurin is saying all the right things publicly. Even if the tone underneath it all suggests this could get messy before it gets better. Now, let's pivot to something a bit more uplifting. The linebacker room in New England is starting to look a lot stronger. One of the biggest offseason pickups, Robert Spillane, is already drawing some national attention. He came over from the Raiders and has quickly become one of the standout additions to this defense. ESPN just rolled out their updated positional rankings, and while these lists are always up for debate, it's pretty interesting to see Spillane getting recognized. He didn't quite crack the top 20 officially, but he received several votes. That had him hovering around that line. In fact, he came in at number 26 overall among off-ball linebackers. That might not sound elite, but considering the sheer volume of talent at the position, that's a solid mark. And it proves he's getting respect across the league. And here's the thing. Rankings aside, Spillane is already stepping into a leadership role. He's expected to be the quarterback of that defense, potentially wearing the green dot, making the calls, and setting the tone for this unit. Don't be shocked if he ends up with a C on his chest by the time the season kicks off. The Patriots are looking for guys who bring consistency, intelligence, and toughness to the field, and Spillane checks all those boxes. Also, keep your eye on Christian Ellis. The Patriots clearly value him. They made sure to protect him in free agency. And the expectation is that he'll be starting in the team's base defense. Alongside players like Jawan Bentley and Jelani Tavai, Ellis is part of a group that's quietly becoming one of the more underrated linebacker core in the league. And if you're hunting for a true dark horse in training camp, enter Marte Mapu. This is a guy who's transitioning from safety to linebacker. A tough switch, no doubt, but he's got the speed, the instincts, and the tackling ability to thrive in that hybrid role. Now, the big question is, can he handle the physicality in the box? Can he shed blocks, avoid being swallowed up by interior linemen, and find ways to stay on the field? If he can, he might just carve out a real role for himself. And speaking of future stars, let's talk about Sauce Gardner and what his recent monster deal means for someone like Christian Gonzalez. Just a day after the Jets handed Garrett Wilson his extension, Sauce got his, and it was a whopper. 4 years, $120.4 million. That kind of money resets the market, and it's the kind of deal that has ripple effects all across the league. Christian Gonzalez, if he keeps progressing the way he has, could find himself in line for a similar payday in the not-so-distant future. Maybe not this year, but possibly next. And definitely something to watch heading into the 2026 offseason. It's no accident that the Patriots are holding on to their cap space. They're planning ahead. They know they've got big names to pay. Gonzalez, Drake May, and others. And when you look at what top corners are making, Sauce at over $30 million a year, Stingley just below that, Ramsey still in the mix, it's easy to imagine Gonzalez pushing that same ceiling, especially if he has a Pro Bowl or All-Pro season. The real question will be, can the Patriots find a way to convince these stars to buy into the team culture and maybe shave a few million off to keep the roster balanced? That's going to be one of the major challenges for Robert Kraft and company in the years ahead. And speaking of culture, Mike Vrabel continues to lay the groundwork for what he wants this team to be. Tough, unified, and accountable. If you haven't checked out the Forged in Foxborough series yet, make sure you mark your calendars. The second episode is dropping soon, and it's giving fans a real behind-the-scenes look at how this team is being built. One standout moment from the latest footage was Vrabel addressing the team after a tough practice. His message was blunt, but powerful, and there's going to be adversity. There are going to be missed assignments, blown coverages, touchdowns given up, but the key is how the team responds. Do they grow together or fall apart? Vrabel is pushing for the former, and in that same clip, Jabril Peppers was seen breaking down the huddle, commanding the room, leading the way, and looking like a natural fit for a captain's role. He's one of the few veterans still around from the previous era, and he's stepping into that leadership void. Whether it's him, Spillane, maybe even Drake May down the line. The captains of this team are going to matter more than ever as the Patriots usher in a new era. So yeah, there's a lot brewing right now. The wide receiver room is overloaded. The linebacker group is getting tighter. The cornerback situation is one contract away from reshaping the market. And leadership, it's coming from all directions. But this is just the beginning. Rookie reporting is just around the corner. Training camp is about to ramp up. And the Patriots, they're building something real, something that's going to be tested early and often, and we'll be right here with you every step of the way. Now, let's jump back into one of the biggest talking points that's been heating up the comment sections lately, the situation with Kayshon Boutte. Fans are wondering, and rightfully so, why his name is suddenly popping up in trade rumors. I mean, this is a guy who, at the end of last season, was functioning as a #1 receiver for New England. He was showing flashes, making plays, and building some real chemistry. So why in the world would the Patriots even consider moving him? Well, here's the reality. The NFL doesn't slow down for anyone. It doesn't care about what you did last year. It cares about what you can do now. And more importantly, where? You fit in a roster that's rapidly evolving. Since the end of the season, New England has completely reloaded that wide receiver room. First, they made the blockbuster move to bring in Stephon Diggs. That right there sends shockwaves. Then they added Michael Gallup, drafted Kyle Williams. Pop Douglas is still holding it down in the slot. Suddenly, that receiver depth chart is crowded. You look up and Boutte, who did absolutely nothing wrong by the way, has slid the way down to wide receiver number 5 or 6, just like that. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Do the Patriots really want to carry 10 receivers into camp knowing only 6 or 7 are making the final roster? Probably not. So then you have to start asking the tough questions. Do you try to stash a guy like Boutte on the practice squad and risk losing him for nothing? Or do you get proactive and see if you can flip him for a 6th or 7th round pick? Maybe even use him in a package deal to bring back a piece you actually need, like a depth offensive lineman or a situational corner. There's even been speculation about names like Jawan Jennings from the Niners being floated in those kinds of conversations. Not because Boutte isn't talented, but because the math just doesn't add up when there are only so many spots and so many mouths to feed. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors have been swirling in the NFL world as whispers emerge about Darnell Washington, the promising tight end from the Pittsburgh Steelers, potentially forcing his way out of the Steel City to make a surprising move to the New England Patriots. The sports grapevine is buzzing with talk that tensions in Pittsburgh have reached a boiling point, igniting speculation of an unexpected off-season shakeup. Washington, a young talent with significant upside, had been seen as a key part of the Steelers' future plans. However, recent reports suggest a rift has developed between the player and the Steelers' organization, possibly over playing time, contract discussions, or his role in the team's offensive scheme. The details remain murky, but insiders hint that Washington is growing increasingly frustrated, fueling the fire of a potential departure. This has led to growing unrest among Steelers fans, who are concerned about losing a promising asset under less than ideal circumstances. The Patriots, always on the lookout for emerging stars and savvy about capitalizing on discord elsewhere, are reportedly intrigued by the prospect of adding Washington to their roster. New England's front office is rumored to be monitoring the situation closely, weighing the benefits of making a move to acquire the tight end who could add a new dimension to their offense. The Patriots system, known for adapting to the strengths of its players, might be just the environment Washington seeks to thrive. If the move does materialize, it could leave a sour taste in Pittsburgh, where loyalty and tradition run deep. The idea of a homegrown talent pushing for a trade and ending up with a longtime rival would certainly stir emotions and could signal a shift in how the Steelers manage player relations moving forward. Fans and analysts alike are keeping a close eye on how this story will unfold, as it may have ripple effects beyond just Washington's situation. While nothing is official yet, the buzz continues to build, and insiders suggest that the next few weeks could bring clarity to this developing saga. Whether Washington stays put or embraces a new chapter in New England remains to be seen. But the Steelers' locker room atmosphere and their future strategy might already be feeling the impact of this brewing controversy. In the high-stakes world of the NFL, where careers and legacies can pivot on a single decision, this potential move is one to watch closely. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.